it, make it back rather. All right, so yeah, we're gonna go ahead and I guess start this other, what is it, investigation? I don't know if it seems like an investigations to me. I'm thinking you were supposed to go to trial and everything. So yeah, I still enjoy it though, but yeah, I hope you all enjoy. Thank you for watching. Make sure you give me a thumbs up. All right, Ace Attorney, Miles Edgeworth, episode 2, Turnabout Airlines. You're in the middle airport arrival. I guess we're gonna arrive at the airport. It's been on the airplane way too long. Oh, I'm too low? Let me see. Can you hear me, Plum? A little bit. Oh, I got my mic down. My bad, child. Thank you, Yeety. Is that better? March 12th, 1 o'clock p.m. local time. Hope Springs Airport. You said a little? Let me see.
I can hear you. I'm listening to it.
I'm good. Hold on. Okay, let's go.
I know that once we landed, I'm supposed to let the local police take over. And thanks to Miss Tenerio and Miss Mill, I was able to preserve the crime scene. But I just can't shake it. I wasn't able to talk with Miss Tenerio in private.
Thanks, Yeety. Thanks, Dave.
So I'm left wondering just what was she up to? Why did she do what she did? There must be a way for me to continue my investigation. It's you.
Who is this?
You know. Whip Lady.
I've been expecting you, Miles Edgeworth. Francisca Van Comma.
I'm calm. Francisca? I thought you were still in Germany.
I go where I'm needed. And wherever there are criminals to be caught.
Her name is Francisca von Karma. The daughter of my mentor, Manfred von Karma. She, like myself, is a prosecutor. Are you heading up this case? It would be a bit of a relief if you are.
Don't you try to flatter me, Miles Edgeworth. I'm placing you under arrest.
What?
Hold on, what is it?
What?
It's quite frustrating, actually. I had hoped to exact my... Hold on. I had hoped to exact my revenge on you in a different venue, but I'll have to take what I can get. I never thought I'd see the day when a disciple of the House of Unkarma would become a criminal. Have you no shame?
Wait! There's all been a big misunderstanding. I didn't kill the victim.
A misunderstanding? I heard all about the murder over the police radio from the captain himself. You waited for the victim on the first floor and then beat him to death.
Francisca, do you honestly believe that I killed the man?
I suppose I should reserve judgment until after I have investigated this for myself. I could put your arrest on hold until then.
That's as it should be.
Ha! I don't need a lecture on how to perform my duties from you, of all people. To be perfect in every way. The fulfillment of that creed alone is all I strive for.
Well, I have my own creed which I must fulfill. So why don't we solve this together?
I have to get going. The crime scene awaits. Don't you dare leave town.
Trust me, I had no intention to.
Detective Gumshoe?
Yes, sir!
Too slow.
Ow!
Listen up. I'm leaving you in charge of watching this man. Don't mess up, understand?
Mr. Edgeworth? I'm supposed to guard him?
A simple yes or no, detective.
Ah! Yes, sir! Understood, sir! You just leave it to me!
Francisca back to her old ways. Mouse Edgeworth, if you interfere with my investigation, I'll arrest you on the spot. Are you clear? Now then, if you'll excuse me.
Good to see you again, Mr. Edgeworth, sir! Boy, am I glad to see you're okay!
Thank you, Detective.
I believe in you, sir! You can lean on me! I'll get you through this!
What's wrong with that man sitting over there?
Wait, you don't recognize him? Oh, you don't recognize the other dude. He's in Turnabout Samurai.
Who? Not him.
Oh, the other dude, I don't know what's wrong with him.
The towel. But yeah, that is him in this Samurai, ain't it?
Yup. I have to admit, I'm a bit curious what that last text box said. No. I have to admit, I'm a bit curious as to what Francisca is up to. Maybe I should ask the good detective. Very well. In that case, I have a few questions for you.
Initial investigation.
So, how is the
So silly.
So, how is the initial investigation going?
We just shipped the body off to the coroner's office. And we're taking statements now, sir.
That sounds like Francisca. She was always good at quick responses to a case.
I'd say she was, a little too quick, sir.
Oh? How so?
I rushed on over as soon as I got the word of the affair, sir. But somehow, when I got here, Miss Von Karma was already here barking out orders at everyone. It was kinda creepy, as though she knew if there had been a murder or something. And I'd come in advance to await your flight's arrival.
That is sort of odd. She did show up rather quickly and out of the blue. Plus, I still don't know why she's here in America. There must be some backstory to all of this.
Francisca Von Karma.
Miss Von Karma just kinda popped up at the prosecutor's office about a week ago, sir. Something about chasing down leads related to a certain incident.
No details?
It's kinda top secret, so she can't talk about it, even with me, sir.
Knowing her, the only type of talking she likes to do is with her whip. Plus, I doubt the top secret part was what stopped her from talking to you, Detective. Although, I wonder if her case has anything to do with mine.
Anyway, that's about all the info I have, sir. We should find out more as we investigate.
Yes, it is high time to resume my investigation. Starting with talking to the people involved in this case afresh. Let's get back on the plane.
You got to get back on the plane.
Get back on the plane, Detective. Oh my god, voice.
March 12th, 1:37 p.m. Flight G390, second floor, first class. So you must be the captain.
Yes, I am. And who might you be?
I am the prodigy prosecutor, Francisca von Karma, and I have a few questions for you. Don't you dare, Captain, getting friendly with another woman? I'll never forgive you if you do.
What are you talking about? I only have eyes for you, my dear Cammy.
I wouldn't bet money on our dear captain would be much of a reputable person.
Sure you don't want to ask the captain some questions, sir?
He was in the cockpit the entire time. I highly doubt he would know anything of use. Anyway, I like to leave that type of witness to Francisca and her whip.
Ah!
They need to clean up their plane. March 12th, 1:40 p.m. Flight G390, first floor lounge. Who is that?
No, see here! Ah! Sorry, I'm sorry! How long do you intend to hold me? It is impossible for me to be criminal! I told you!
Mr. LeBlanc.
Oh, it is you! Tell this man to stopping me from going!
To stop.
Tell this man to stop stopping me from going! Time is money! I don't have even 1 second of wasteful time to spend!
Well, I guess the green arrow is they saying go that way.
No, that's what. That means the green arrow means you're going to another place. It doesn't mean like go there.
Wow.
That's basically where you just came from. Did you finish taking a statement yet?
Yep, all done, sir. I do not concern if you're not done examining the cargo hold. I want my cargo back.
LeBlanc's cargo.
If you make a single scratch on my yacht, you will pay!
What? What sort of what?
Mr. LeBlanc is an art dealer, so he's got a bunch of artwork down in the cargo hold, sir. There's practically a mountain of them, large and small. From folk costumes to stone statues, I sell all kinds of art.
Folk costumes? Speaking of which, Mr. LeBlanc's hat. It kind of looks like that other piece of cloth. Maybe I should present him with something. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Wink, 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 wink.
Don't say the attorney's badge.
Yes, my brilliant prosecutor's
The
badge.
bloody cloth that was found inside. The bloody cloth that was found inside the suitcase.
Mr. LeBlanc, could you please take a look at this for me?
Hmm? Oh, it's a Bulgarian cloth.
As I suspected, your hat is made of the same material, I suppose.
Yes, of course. This fabric is so famous. Order some from over the seas for more.
Orders come.
Bloody clock data updated in my organizer. World famous export of Burgundian. Its beautiful pattern has been soiled by blood.
And this is the cargo you were talking about earlier?
No, no, no! My cargo this time is much, much mini gigantic. You detective, when can I have my cargo moved? You can get your cargo back when we're done investigating, pal. The stubbornness of you police, it is no good. And it is no good that the attendant refuses to exit the attendant's room too.
That attendant. I wonder if he's talking about Miss Tenerio.
Rhoda Tenerio.
What did you mean by that attendant, Mr. LeBlanc?
She was taken into the attendant's room for an interview. And then they still have not yet come out. They make no sign of coming out either. I was finished with my own interview much earlier, quicker than her.
Why is Miss Tenerio's interview the only one that's taking up so much time?
Mouse Edgeworth, you were given free reign to examine the plane, weren't you?
Yes, I was able to obtain the cooperation of the flight attendants. Speaking of attendants, I'd like to speak with Miss Tenerio. I wonder if you would grant me permission to enter the flight attendant's room.
Before I do, you still have to clear up a few issues surrounding your own circumstances.
I understand.
You may have tricked those attendants with your sophisticated talking, but you can't pull the wool over my eyes, Mouse Edgeworth.
Ooh.
Francisca's logic. Let's not complicate things and go with the most obvious conclusion. The scene of the crime was here, in the very lounge the body was discovered. From the time the victim was seen calling for an attendant until his body was found, the only person in this lounge the entire time was you, Mouse Edgeworth. This unmistakable makes you the likeliest suspect.
The likeliest suspect, Francisca.
Do you have a problem with that?
No, but it's not like you to use such vague wording. You're usually a bit more absolute.
I'm simply trying to watch out for you. Or is my kindness too hard for you to comprehend?
Thank you, but your leniency is unnecessary, for I will prove my innocence soon enough. If I want to continue my investigation, I'll have to break her line of logic fast.
Rebuttal. Francisca's logic.
You're a dummy.
Let's not complicate things and go with the most obvious conclusion.
Hold it!
Don't you think you're being a bit rash by simply declaring me the culprit?
I like my affairs to be simple and perfect. I'll show you the meaning of both when I finish this whole thing within 3 minutes.
Hey, you say that like you're cooking a pack of instant noodles. Ow!
I won't allow even 3 seconds of useless testimony to be uttered in my presence. The scene of the crime was here, in the very lounge the body was discovered. Oop. Wrong button.
Wrong button. Missing button.
Hold it!
So tell me, Francisca, do you know all there is to know about the crime scene?
I know all that I need to know in order to arrest you.
And nothing more?
Are you saying there is more I need to know?
Ah! Why did you whip me, sir?
Sorry, Scruffy, my hand must have slipped.
It would appear that Francisca doesn't have all the facts of this case yet.
From the time the victim was seen calling from a... Hold on, can't even read tonight. From the time the victim was seen calling for an attendant until his body was found.
Hold it!
What do you mean by seen?
Please stop pretending like you don't know. It's insulting. Obviously, I'm talking about how Mr. Hicks was seen calling for an attendant at 5 a.m. And then, from the time after that call until the body was found, the only person in this lounge the entire time was you, Miles Edgeworth.
Hold it!
While it's true that I was in the lounge the whole time, that fact alone does not make me the criminal.
Objection!
Ha, we'll see about that at the conclusion of this investigation. However, there is one thing that even you must admit at this time. This unmistakably makes you unmistakably makes you the likeliest suspect.
Hold it!
Under the circumstances, I suppose I can agree that I am the most likely suspect.
But I believe in you, sir. I don't think you did it. Miss Von Cormer's gotta believe that too, right? I mean, you two are like siblings. Ow!
Quiet, Scruffy. Even if we were related by blood, that's not guaranteed that he's not a criminal.
Francisca.
I demand to see some proof that you are not the guilty party.
The likeliest suspect, huh? What a roundabout of you 50. But it would appear that she doesn't yet know about the new evidence that we acquired and where we acquired it. I'll take care of the gaps in her logic, one hole at a time. I'm about to cook this woman. We should.
Okay.
Okie dokie. Okie dokie. Dokie little cup. We should.
Okay, what are we doing, Plum?
Wait till you is supposed to be the mystery solver.
So, Game Queen 81 again. How's it going?
Solve the mystery.
From the time the victim was seen calling for an attendant until
Nope.
his body was found.
Nope.
I'm just reading through the statements. The only person in this lounge the entire time was you, Miles Edgeworth.
That's true. That's true. You can't deny that.
No, it wasn't this, ooh. These footprints.
We get into that.
What you mean?
Those don't prove nothing by themselves.
It's a different statement.
Yep.
Well, I think he debunked that it was here in his lounge.
Mm-hmm. What debunks it?
Let me see. Oop. What's that? 2 pieces? I don't know. This here.
It would appear that you did not have all the information you needed after all.
And what does that mean?
I found a nice piece of evidence just before I was forced to stop investigating. A piece that proves that the body was moved from a different location. The killer used this suitcase to move the victim's body. Meaning that the real scene of the crime is not this lounge at all.
Objection!
Now, who's the one rashly jumping to conclusions?
Excuse me?
All you did was find this piece of cloth inside the suitcase that doesn't prove that the body was moved. It could be that the killer simply chose that suitcase as a good place to hide the cloth.
I expected you would come to that conclusion. It would seem I can't escape that easily.
You should know better than that. If a karma is perfect in every way. What you laughing at?
Can you hear things?
Right, Mike, hold on. I don't know why it sounds so low. I don't know, it's not right.
You gotta yell! Yell!
Ah, but did you know that the killer definitely wheeled the suitcase around at some point?
Objection!
As if there is a proof of that?
Where's the proof that the suitcase was moved around? My prosecutor's badge. Take it on good faith, please.
This here?
Yep.
Oops.
Because you see...
Take that!
The spilled grape juice in front of the elevator?
Yes, and I'd like you to draw your attention to this area here. Where's the evidence that proves the killer drives the suitcase through here? What's it? What's it? What's it? Let me show.
Which boy? Where is the evidence that proves the killer dragged the suitcase through here? Right here?
Yep, you can see those.
Take that!
This mark here. When you say that it looks suspicious, this mark here. When you say that it looks suspiciously like tracks from two wheels.
I suppose.
Further, there's also grape juice residue on the wheels of the suitcase. This means that the suitcase containing the victim's body definitely passed through here.
I suppose things mean. Hello. That's your fault.
Yep.
I suppose this means that the killer did move the victim's body from somewhere else.
I'm glad you've come to your senses.
Objection!
Not so fast. This still doesn't put you in the clear. Not by a long shot. Francisca's Logic Part 2. You prepared yourself and acquired the piggy bank before the plane hit that turbulence. And then you waited for the victim in the lounge when you beat him to death. Then, while you were in the elevator with the victim's body stuffed into the suitcase, the plane hit that patch of turbulence and out flew the body from within the suitcase. With no way out, you hastily put the suitcase back where you had taken it from and pretended to be the discoverer of the body.
Not a bad bit of logic for something you thought of on the fly.
Just what are you insinuating?
And I will show you exactly how flawed your logic is. No matter how strong of a face you put on, not even you can hide your fears from me. I'll expose the flaws in her logic in one fell swoop. Explosive.
Francisca's Logic Part 2. You prepared yourself and acquired the piggy bank before the plane hit the turbulence. Can you read?
And how do you suppose I was able to take the piggy bank out of its display case? As I recall, the case was locked.
That's easy if the case was locked. You simply had to hit the glass like this.
Ow! You shattered my heart of glass!
So she wants to talk about the in-flight shop in the Captain Ugo Bank, does she?
That take care of how you obtained the murder weapon. And then you waited for the victim in the lounge where you beat him to death.
Hold it!
I thought there wasn't any of the victim's blood found in the lounge.
I thought you'd say that. What? Did you think I wouldn't have noticed? I think you just found a way to cleverly hide the blood splatter in the lounge by accidentally spilling grape juice on top of it.
Are you accusing me of tampering with the crime scene now?
We'll see, won't we? The forensic scientists are hard at work on that as we speak.
And what do you propose I did after that?
Then, while you were in the elevator with the victim's body stuffed into that suitcase,
Hold it!
So I put the victim's body into the suitcase, and then, where was I headed, Francisca?
that's pretty obvious. You were bringing it to the first class where you could safely keep an eye on it.
We're talking about this thing, you know. I'd hardly call it discreet or ordinary.
Annoying brat. Well then, you were intending to leave it inside the elevator, but unfortunately for you, a wrench was thrown into your plans because the plane hit that patch of turbulence and out flew the body from within the suitcase.
Hold it!
You've experienced turbulence on a flight before.
Of course, many times. You get used to it after a while.
The patch we hit was especially rough, and I passed out briefly, but only for a second.
Good thing it was only for a sec, sir! It'd been bad if you had really blanked out.
Yes, indeed. Unfortunately, blacking out is exactly what got me into this situation in the first place.
That's enough for your idle chatter. I'm not through with you, Miles Edgeworth. With no way out, you hastily put the suitcase back where you had taken it from.
Hold it!
If I really were a criminal, do you really think I would be so easily caught?
Objection!
You are certainly in the middle of being caught right now.
God! I have to find a contradiction fast, or I won't have much of my own hide left to save.
I have to say, you are looking rather caught right now. And I'll tell you exactly what you did after that. You loitered around in the lounge and pretended to be the discoverer of the body.
Hold it!
I didn't pretend to be anything. I really was the first to discover the victim's body.
I suppose that's true.
So then, you're yielding to my statements?
Don't be stupid. I still insist that you are the killer, but in that sense, you really were the first to discover the body to be dead.
No matter what I say, she seems dead set on making me out to be the killer. Her logic is reasonably sound, and a large majority of it reflects the truth. But there is one point about it that is not quite right. I just want to say, this is her brother right here. And she going so hard to try to find him as the killer.
Hey, you see what what's his face did? Gavin.
Gavin. Oh my god, that's what. In that case, it was true though. Okay. Alright, let's go. Which one is it, Mom? Which one?
Alright, and then you waited for the victim in the lounge. Or you beat him to death. Then while you were in the elevator with the victim's body stuffed into the suitcase, the plane hit that patch of turbulence and out flew the body from within the suitcase. On the way out, you hastily put the suitcase back where you had taken it from. Which one is it, Plum?
You don't know? It's the first one. I already told you.
Discover the body. It's the first one? Yeah, you told me. I won't go back. All these statements so long.
She talk a lot. She yap a lot.
You prepared yourself and acquired the piggy bank before the plane hit that turbulence. Oh. This was taken out of his display case in the in-flight shop after the turbulence. So it's this one, huh?
Objection!
The fact that you took this piece of evidence into account in your testimony is to be commended. Your legal prowess is certainly something to be feared.
Evidence and logic. Essential tools that those who would stand in a courtroom must learn to master.
But what if there was a fake piece of evidence thrown into the mix?
A fake?
This Captain Ugo piggy bank is just such a fake. It is not the real murder weapon.
What?
The timing of when the bank was taken from the shop is important. And it was taken after the turbulence had occurred.
But then, what about the blood on the bank? What do you make of that?
I assume it was added after the murder when the killer fabricated this weapon. Looking at it this way, the killer basically did 3 things after the turbulence. After exiting the elevator, the killer brought the suitcase to the shop and left it there. Then the killer proceeded to pick the bank up from off the floor. And took it to fabricate a fake murder weapon by hitting the victim on the head. Finally, the victim's wallet was planted on my personage, in my pocket to be precise. Everything was done so that I would be framed for the murder of Mr. Ackby Hicks.
You there.
Yes, ma'am.
Other than this piggy bank, was anything else resembling a murder weapon found?
We didn't find anything in this lounge or in the shop that could be used as one, ma'am. Most of the items that could have been used were broken during the turbulence. And the remaining items all tested negative for any trace of blood.
I see. Well, Miles Edgeworth, it appears your stall tactics are at an end.
But it's possible that it's just hidden somewhere, sir.
If the criminal had wanted to hide the weapon in a safer place, I think the weapon would have been hidden in the same place as the bloody cloth.
Exactly what I was thinking. Because the cloth was hidden inside that suitcase, it signals to me that the killer had not prepared a more secure place to hide the evidence. which means that the real murder weapon is either still on the murderer's personage, or is still at the real crime scene.
Objection!
There is one more possibility.
And that would be...
That the piggy bank is in fact the real weapon.
But then we just...
You said Francisca is so bad, bro. Hey Sam, how's it going?
Let me finish. The killer took the bank out from the display case before the turbulence by opening the lock on the display case door. And it was at that time that the glass pane in the door was broken. I say that's a perfectly reasonable line of reasoning, wouldn't you? Let's see. So that means that the killer had the key to the display case.
Francisca, the person you're talking about.
Not so fast. I'm not finished. The person I'm talking about also committed another sin. She tricked the captain and granted you permission to conduct your investigation. Yes, it is the sin of fibbing. Speaking of which, I recall that you also wished to speak with her.
Yes.
Very well, permission granted, but only if I can sit in on your interrogation. Do we understand each other?
I have no intention of interrogating her. But you're welcome to accompany me if you so wish.
Miss Turnabout is in the flight attendant's room. Let's move.
Let's go beat her up. Let's go jump her.
Are we going?
The flight attendant's room.
What is it?
It's over there.
You said that's where we came from.
No.
Hello. Over this way?
Over.
What?
Go.
What are you talking
Left.
about? Is it here?
Yes.
Oh. March 12th, 2:23 p.m. Flight G390, first floor. Flight attendant's room. You know I forgot about that. Did we go to that room before?
No, they pointed it out though.
No, they didn't.
Yes, they did.
I just saw that green arrow going up those steps. So, you're the one that poked around inside the planes without the captain's permission? Deviating from the flight attendant's manual is very unbecoming, you know? What were you hoping to accomplish by doing that?
Mr. Nerio.
Mr. Edgeworth, you here too?
Can you please help us and shed some light on why you did what you did?
All right.
Oh, this is awkward.
I got to go over there too.
Yes.
Anyway. Ooh.
Yes, sir. Why are you talking to me? Talk to her. What are you doing, sir? You good? You good, sir?
Hello. I tried to talk to her.
Captain's permission.
Why did you fib about receiving the captain's permission like that?
Because I didn't think I would be going. Because I didn't think I would be able to get his permission.
What do you mean?
The captain, he only has ears for Cammy. I spoke with the captain a little earlier myself. He definitely seemed to be rather taken with Miss Neal. Yes, and on top of that, I had mistakenly accused Mr. Edgeworth of being the killer. I wanted to make amends.
In that case, please allow me to thank you for what you did. Thanks to you, I was able to clear myself of all charges.
Really? You were able to prove your innocence? Oh, thank goodness. Miss Tenario, is it? There is one more thing I'd like to ask you. You were in the in-flight shop just before the turbulence, weren't you? Please answer honestly. Yes, I was. And why were you there? Well,
Why the sudden hesitation? Francisca seems to have struck a nerve.
In-flight shop. All I did was go check up on the shop like I always do. You're saying it was for work then? Yes, I'm in charge of the shop, so I have to keep an eye on it. I don't have any reason to go there otherwise. After your visit to the shop, you paid a visit to this room, correct? Yes, I came back to freshen up and adjust my makeup. I'm sorry, but there isn't much else to tell.
Miss Tenario claims to have no reason other than duty to go to the shop. But is that all there is to it? Maybe I should ask her about that thing. What thing am I talking about? I kind of forgot.
Should I her with something?
Gumshoe, what was I talking about? What's that thing?
I don't know, sir. I just got here.
Did I have presented her with something?
Yes. I'm gonna be honest, I forgot.
Let me see.
Maybe the suitcase since she made it. If you could please take a look at this for me, Miss Tenario.
Oh, that suitcase.
Yes, about the suitcase. You were the one who designed it, correct? And I think I figured something else out about it. This suitcase is the reason you went to the shop, isn't it?
There's nothing you won't find out eventually, is there?
Won't you please tell me more about this suitcase?
Yes. I was interested in seeing how the suitcase I had designed were selling. I know that as a service professional, I'm not supposed to care, but I really wanted to know. And I was glad to see that it was the last one there.
The last one there?
The last suitcase.
So you're saying, Miss Tenario, that the suitcase in question was the last one?
Yes. They're just so popular they're practically flying off the shelves.
That's not exactly the impression I got.
The one in the shop is most definitely the last one.
Well, we're currently looking at that suitcase.
Really? Then I guess we sold all of them. Thank you very much for taking the last one.
I didn't say anything about buying it!
Didn't say you will buy it?
I'm sorry, I can't.
But why? I think it'll go great with your complexion. Mr. Edgeworth, it really suits you. I guarantee it personally as a service professional.
Well, how should I put this? It's hideous.
What?
Maybe that was a bit too direct. Moving on, my issue with the suitcase isn't the design, it's the number of them remaining.
Remaining?
There were 2 suitcases in the in-flight shop when I investigated it.
2? But that's impossible. I'm sure there was only one. Looks like her story has generated quite the contradiction. When I left the shop, I'm positive there was only one suitcase left.
Something is amiss here. What could be the meaning of this inconsistency? By the way, Mr. Nerio, what is one of those suitcases doing here?
That's...
I thought you said there was only one left.
That one is, it's mine. I've used it for a very long time now.
She's used it for a long time? I think not. Mr. Nerio, I'd appreciate it if you wouldn't fib to me.
Excuse me?
I don't believe for even 1 second that you've used this for a very long time. What proves that this hasn't been used for nearly as long as Mr. Nerio says? Ah yes, the fire extinguisher. No one would put that worn thing next to the stupid thing and shit. Yeah, that's right. Tell me, Mr. Nerio, is it also your habit to keep the price tag pristine on your suitcase?
What is the meaning of this? Why would you fib about a suitcase?
Despite having faith in her design sense, the sales numbers made her cry bitter tears. The truth is becoming increasing. The truth is becoming increasingly clear to me. Mr. Nerio, I think I understand. I know what you are trying to hide. Now then, this suitcase was originally in... What was that?
The in-flight shop?
Oh. Oh.
They said where it was?
Seeing as how the price tag is still on the suitcase, one can only assume it was out on the floor for sale in the shop. And the person who bought this suitcase was... Gumshoe, why did you buy this? We should... It was her.
I guess it was the victim.
No. Why would he want it? It's disgusting.
Hold on.
It was her.
She bought it?
Yeah.
Take that!
It was you, wasn't it, Mr. Nerio? I hate to say this, but this suitcase that you designed, it hasn't sold very well, has it? You saw how poorly this design that you poured your heart into was selling, and were deeply hurt. That's why you wanted to make it look like it was selling by buying it yourself. Isn't that right?
Then the reason you went to the shop and came back here was... I'm sorry. All I really have is my job. I was overjoyed when my design was chosen. I thought that maybe I had finally accomplished something.
But the suitcase didn't sell.
It's because of the design, isn't it? All because it's as hold on. All because it's as
Where did Jay come from?
all because it's as you put it, hideous.
I can't say that they That's me. I can't say they chose a great place in which to sell them either.
We weren't selling a single one, and they were just sitting there collecting dust. I felt so bad seeing them there, day in and day out. So I decided to buy one for every flight I work.
You buy one every single time you work a flight?
I see, so in order to keep your resolution, you went and bought one today as well. Yes. And here's my receipt for that purchase.
This receipt is clearly timestamped 5:40 a.m.
Suitcase receipt that I jotted down in my organizer out at the in-flight shop and left in the attendant's room. The timestamp says 5:40 a.m. The truth is, there's still a bunch of them left unsold. They're planning to scrap the remaining ones at the end of this flight.
Mr. Nerio, where are these other suitcases?
They should be all down in the cargo hold. Then the suitcase the killer used.
Could very well have come from the cargo hold.
Mr. Edgeworth, you don't think that the killer used one of my suitcases too?
Yes, I do. The killer used one of your beloved suitcases to move the victim's body.
How could they? Those suitcases were meant to be faithful partners to our passengers on their trips. That's all I ever wished for them to be.
Mr. Nerio, is there any other way to get to the cargo hold other than the elevator?
The only other way is just through that door there.
And what about security?
The door has no special lock installed because just to enter this room, you need a special key card that only crew members have access to.
Which means that the culprit is someone who can enter this room, eliminating the passengers and leaving only crew members as potential suspects.
I can't believe it.
Yes, Francisca?
Going on these wild goose chases, you're a disgrace to the Von Karma name.
And what do you mean by that?
The suitcase came from the cargo hold? That fact alone tells the whole story.
Yes, which is why I said the culprit must be a crew member who used their keycard.
Mouse Edgeworth, you're proposing that the killer rode the elevator from the cargo hold, correct?
Yes, that's the only realistic possibility.
That other attendant, Miss Mill? I asked her earlier and she had this to say.
Francisca got information out of Miss Mill?
In order to make the elevator go down to the cargo hold, a different key card is required.
A different one?
Yes, and the only person who holds that particular card is you, Miss Rhoda Tenerio, and only you.
What? Is this true, Miss Tenerio?
Yes, I keep that key card in my locker at all times.
Could you please show us that card right now?
Yes, hold on. I don't believe it.
What's wrong?
The key card, it's gone. Haha, very clever. Pretending that your card was stolen when in fact you're just trying to hide it from us. You really thought this through. Wait, it's not like that. You could tell us all what it's like down at the station. Officer, arrest this woman.
Yes, ma'am.
Ooh.
Mr. Edgeworth.
Well, I'm going home.
What's wrong? there's disbelief written all over your face.
Francisca, I know that you are the lead investigator on this case. However,
Hold it. Don't even think about wasting any more of my time. You know the rules as well as I do. Evidence speaking louder than words. Even if this isn't a courtroom, that basic tenet still applies. I intend to investigate the cargo hold now. What will you do, Miles Edgeworth?
I intend to do likewise. Well, we continue.
To be continued. How y'all like that episode? We got Francisca Burkhammer back.
With her whip.
Got the whip back. All right. Yeah, I enjoyed the episode. Can't wait to see what else goes on in the cargo hold. But yeah, I appreciate you all for watching tonight. And I guess I'll let you all go. All right, Dave was the first one in the chat. Thank you, Dave. Yeety, Game Queen 81, and Sev chatted, and everyone else that's watching. I appreciate you all for watching. Yeah, and make sure you hit the subscribe button for me and the like button. I'd appreciate it. I will talk to you all on the next one. You all take care.